Rome, is that you?
Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Joe?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you?
Just coughing. I can hear you, but I don't see you. Where are you at, Eugene? Can you not hear me?
Hi. Yes.
Hi. Eugene, I think you froze. So, Ekaterina, can you hear me? There's Eugene.
Yes.
Hi.
Uh-huh.
I like that shirt. You got self-branding. So let's wait for Pavel and Alex. All right, we got one more people coming in. Okay. Welcome, Pavel. All right, I think we should get started. So welcome everybody to Everscale Community Call number 116. We've got some pumpkin spiced updates brewing, so let's get started. Our resident pumpkin carver, Mr. Pavel Prigolovko, is here with us to kick off the agenda with the strategic community update. Pavel, will you do the honors?
Yes, hi everyone. Thank you, John. Actually, there's nothing much to say for today because development is going as it is planned. So on the node, which is the most important part, we expect to get high load test on a specialized hardware this week because all bugs were fixed on ramp protocol. So this is, I mean, this is a long story which comes to the end and final transition into the mainnet. For the rest, development again, it is underway. So roadmap, as we promised, was made public, but it was not. Article is going out like in a couple of days. So, but we opened node roadmap with detailed steps. We made it available for everyone to see. So yeah, this is pretty much it for the moment.
Okay, short and sweet. Maybe we have some questions for you popping up, so stick around. Thanks, Pavel. Next up, we have Katerina. We have FX team lead at Katerina with an update on the token API.
Hello, I will share my screen.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so on this weekend, we released Fungible Token API. Now you can find it in your playground under the name FT, which is Fungible Token. So let's take a look what is inside. Oh, give me a minute, I will. Okay, so here you can see, let's start with version. So this is basically the version number. Now it's 0.2.0. The next feature is tokens. We can query token list with pagination. And now it's the only filter it has is symbol substring, but it's not very handy as it turned out. So we will add other filters, probably something like symbol prefix or name prefix, I think. So you can try it and you will see the list of tokens, say like with substring ever. Let's choose first 10. And in the token, you can see fields like address, symbol, name, decimals, owner, and also it's total supply. And also it's possible to see the wallets of the token right inside the token. But we will talk about wallets a bit later, but they are stitched inside this type. So you can paginate them right from the token. And basically, like when you go to this field, I will show you. You can also paginate transfers and wallets by these pagination parameters first, after, or last before. So the next API is a function is token. It just returns the token information by the root address. So here you can see Weaver wrapper. If you go inside the schema, you can also see that you can again paginate wallets and transfers from inside the token. Then we have token holder. So you can get wallets and transfers of some token holder by its wallet address. So here I chose some token owner. I don't know who it is, but I get like its address, its first two wallets, and its first transfer. And in the token transfer, you can see fields such as message ID. Again, it has stitched token type, so you can get token, symbol, or any other data that that is present in token type. And from wallet to wallet, also it's wallet type stitch, so you can choose any wallet field here. From which holder, same thing, you can choose any fields. The transfer type, which can be, let me remember, transfer, mint, burn, and stuff like that. Timestamp and of course value. So this was the holder. Now we have the wallet itself. It's the tip3 wallet. tip32 to be precise. And it also has some address. Its holder, it's again holder type. You can choose any field of the holder here. Balance and transfers of this wallet, which you can paginate again. Okay, so the next thing that we did is we stitched these types to the basic API, like account query type. So now if you fetch account with this query or through collections as well, you can like besides of the standard fields, address and balance and so on, you can specify token holder field, which will stitch the same holder type here. And you can see again, wallets and transfers and so on. And the same thing with transactions and messages. You can find some transaction by its hash and get token transfer information right from the transaction query type, where we show like, I don't know if it will show. Yeah, we show different like fields, like value, transfer type. Again, you can query which token was it, and yeah, like so which token from which owner to which owner, timestamp, and so, and you can see here, like I chose destination transaction and source transaction of some token transfer. You see that in destination transaction, we see the type receive as transfer type. In source, we see just transfer. And also the same feature is available in messages, but something went wrong and it doesn't work, we will fix it. So in messages, it will also be stitched. But for transfer type, it will always be just transfer type of transfer. Yeah. So again, root ft query, these are the functions. And these are helper functions, but you can also use it. We needed them to stitch these functions to the blockchain API. You can query like array of holders by holder addresses and array of transfers by message IDs. So I think this is all. Yeah, and we already published the documentation on our Everscale page. You can see samples here on the GraphQL samples. All that I showed you is now here. And here also on the general GraphQL API like drop down. So I think this is it. I will, if you have any questions, maybe. Okay.
Anybody have any questions?
We can continue discussion of this API in our Telegram channel.
Yeah, that would be great. Fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing all of that. It's very interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we should get more presentations like that, very visual and helpful. That's great. Cool. So let's move on the agenda. We have a double feature for you now. Last week from the 29th to the 30th, we have Eugene Morozov. He's the founder of the Everscale Academy. He and Misha spoke at the Blockchain and Infrastructure Conference in Washington, D.C. So, and you want to present two topics today, which is fantastic. So, Eugene.
That's right. Hello, Joe, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. So, as you correctly said, on 29th and 30th of September, Everscale had an opportunity to reinforce its reputation as subject matter experts at the Government Blockchain Association semi-annual blockchain and infrastructure event in Washington, D.C. So this time we were invited to participate in 4 panels. One of them, resilient voting systems, where indeed I presented the most recent update on DeVote, which is we now have Android-based client-side calculations. No more central server. Right now, all the calculations are done on a user device, and that's a major step forward. So I talked about this, and I'm very pleased to report that GBA itself decided to conduct its member advancement elections using DeVote and votes to suppliers, essentially, to GBA. So we will be helping GBA elect its own board of advisors shortly. In about 3 weeks, we expect to complete the iOS technology, and therefore we'll be ready to move to field tests, and GBA is one of those tests. So information was received very well. There were lots of questions, and people were genuinely interested in that, especially representatives of 2 states, Oregon and Massachusetts. We had elected officials at the conference who asked me for a follow-up after the conference to see if they can also pilot DeVote technology in their jurisdictions. The same request came from U.S. Veterans Administration, believe it or not. And also I had a very productive discussion with a representative of U.S. Marine Corps. So yes, the military is also looking for this technology, quite exciting. The second panel we participated is data integrity panel. The third is blockchain startups funding panel. And here I'm happy to report that National Institute of Science invited DeVote to apply for their program. It's called seedfund.nis.gov, and we will be doing that as well. They fund approximately 300 blockchain startups per year. So we certainly hope to be one of those. And then lastly, but not the least, we had a whole panel devoted to security of software supply chain, a subject especially near and dear to Mitya's heart. And yes, indeed, he was able to speak at that conference, although through a pre-recorded message. But the message was well delivered. Again, GOSH that was presented seems to be a great solution that allows people to improve supply chain process, increase its security, and therefore help government agencies and private companies address the presidential executive order, which was issued last year, which essentially mandated improvement in security. Joanne, I just sent you some pictures. I don't know if you have it. You can please put them on screen. I'm speaking.
Yeah, it's in the Telegram, so I'd have to share my whole Telegram, but I forwarded it to the Everscale community. And as you're speaking with all these updates, I realized that we need a whole coverage on this. I think we should arrange for an article covering all of this. So we'll put the photos in there too.
Yeah, so there are some very notable photos that I hope folks can take a look at. Number one is I'm there with Scott Starnetta, a historical figure widely credited with creating blockchain more than 20 years ago. Satoshi Nakamoto quotes him several times in his white paper. An incredible man, a great mathematician who at the same time happens to be a priest. Imagine that, mathematics and religion combined in one mind. Incredible. Another picture you will see is that of Carol House, who happens to be the head of US government cybersecurity task force under the White House auspices. She was a keynote speaker at the conference, and rest assured, the White House is looking at cybersecurity very, very seriously. They have the whole staff. They are looking at the most advanced technologies to implement at the governmental level. By and large, our presence at the conference was very successful. I believe 4 panels is a record of GBA when one team was participating in 4 panels in 2 days. So I'm very happy with the results. There's lots of follow-up that needs to take place. Share information, share leads, and see if our great technology can be implemented. Thank you, Joe. I'm happy to answer any questions should you have.
Yeah, that is fantastic. You're taking over the GBA. You're taking over these conferences, getting your foot into every single door there. That's kind of like when we went into Dubai with the community and just kind of owned the conference. Cool. So does anybody have any questions for Eugene about everything that he just shared? I don't see anything popping up, but maybe we can address them in the chat if anybody don't have a question for a moment. Yeah, well, I think that's pretty much all from our updates. I think there will be more questions in the chats after this. So that is very short and sweet and wraps up this week's Everscale community call. And the next one will be on October 18th. I don't want to jinx it, but I think we'll have a special appearance by the Gosh team and some really cool updates to look forward to. So see you then, everybody. Have a nice week. Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye-bye.